Alright, we're back. And... yeah, I think... we need to actually look at this more? So this is the type of revolver that's standard issue for members of the judiciary, then? Yes, and when I asked about whether records are kept about who they're issued to, I was told that for the past 5 years, they've been engraved with a unique serial number. Oh, but as far as I can tell, there's nothing like that on this gun. Which tells us that it must have been issued longer ago than that. Rotate. Oh, that'll... oh shit. Well, there goes that plan. Unless it sounds like a gunshot could have been made with... I really don't know. Shit. Examining the gun was my only hint. I got nothing. Alright, how about this? I haven't rubbed my face against this yet. Ah, there's some black marks here, look! Yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks. Perhaps the bullet struck the candle here, do you think? Only this one candle that's been cracked in half, it seems. Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan. I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them. That's not helpful, Miss Susato. Ah. I've always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like. Doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Naruhodo. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you? I'm not sure that's quite how I'd put it. You must have had to use lots of bird lime to keep it in place on your head. It doesn't get blown off at a gust of wind, I mean. That might be a little inconvenient when you wanted to take it off again, don't you think? Not helpful. Ma'am? Do we have to actually light these or something? Have you an idea, Mr. Naruhodo? You're staring at the end of the string of fireworks. Sorry. It's just that it's the Venus special. I was wondering what 600 pence worth of fireworks would sound like. Shall we find out? What? But you said it could blow up the courtroom. Oh my god, is this it? Alright! That was a fairly sizable bang! My ears are still ringing, Mr. Naruhodo. It sounded almost exactly like... Okay, very good. We got there. We got there.
Take that!
Something like this. The culprit could have set off one of these to fake a gunshot. Good gracious! The very fireworks that are sold by the witness? Did you not just hear it going off just now, Your Honor? Now hold on a minute. Are you saying I did it? My pretty little firecrackers only make a little pop anyway. See? Not 100 of them together. The Venus special that you sell for 600 pennies sounds like this. As the court can now attest, it sounds very much like a gunshot, in fact. You're trying to suggest that somebody set one of these fireworks off at the scene. Suggesting that somebody knew the defendant was in the room that day, at 5 that day, and sought to implicate him by creating a sound just like a gunshot for these peddlers on Fresno Street to hear.
Objection!
But even the accused himself has testified that he saw no one else in the room at the time. Whether it was a gun or a firecracker, the only person present to cause that bang was Berg Van Zeeks. Wonder if a match and my firecrackers go pop. See? That's why people like them. I fear for your fingers, young lady.
Objection!
Recently, during my time here in Britain, I've learned of a very useful invention indeed. Something called a time bomb. Oh, good heavens! A bomb! Yes, a device that allows you to blow up whatever you like, whenever you like. Mr. Naruhodo, I worry that your unfortunate phrasing there may lead to yet another international incident. No, wait. It's the whenever you like part that's important. A time device. Yes, exactly. A time device. Something that nature could have been planted at the scene. A device that was able to produce the sound of a gunshot long after the culprit had left. Your extravagant claim will have to be substantiated with evidence, counsel. What proof do you have to suggest in any way that a time device was employed to create the gunshot? It's this, isn't it?
Take that!
As the court has already discussed, the tip of one of the candles in this candelabrum has been blown off. Indeed, as it was struck by the bullet, presumably passed through the victim. I don't think that's possible, my lord. Not possible. Why? Because the scorching. There are gunpowder scorch marks clearly visible on the broken candle. The biggest brain Ryunosuke moment. There are. Oh goodness, yes, but is it not the case that there was also scorching on the victim around the bullet entry wound? That's right, there was. But as we heard earlier, scorching like that only occurs when the target is at very close range, a matter of centimeters from the gun. Ah. Which means that the scorching on the candle couldn't possibly be the result of a gunshot. You're suggesting it came from the fireworks. How could that be, eh? The fact that there's such visible scorching on the candle suggests that the fireworks must have been right next to it when they exploded. Or to put it another way, the candle and firecrackers were joined together. Oh. The culprit somehow attached the firecrackers at a point partway down the candle. After the killer had left the scene, the candle slowly burnt down along with the other two, until eventually it ignited the fuse of the firecrackers, generating a loud What a fucking huge brain moment for Ryunosuke pulling that out of his ass. What a huge brain moment there. Like, legitimately. What a fucking intelligent deduction. Like, I'm genuinely impressed. That's how these three witnesses came to believe they heard a gunshot at 5 o'clock. Well, what a plot. And this implies that the victim could have died earlier than we've been led to believe. The previous day, even. Now, just hold your horses. Oldest lot here saw the victim going into the building, remember? I couldn't forget that flame-colored hair, even if I wanted to. The person you saw entering the building wasn't the victim at all. Consider this. Obviously anyone can wear a wig. The person that these witnesses saw entering the building 15 minutes before the incident occurred Could easily have been someone else entirely, wearing the red hairpiece. Someone else? Do you mean to say? It was the same person who contrived the firecracker trick. In other words, Inspector Gregson's killer. Who's laughing? Sogi? Oh, very impressive, Ryunosuke. Naruhodo? Kazuma? I'm really quite amazed you've come this far. Uh-oh. After all, wasn't I the one who told you? That you had all the makings of a great defense lawyer? I also know the lack of a time of death in this report. A stark omission. As far as I'm concerned, this whole country's justice system leaves a lot to be desired. Okay? Yes, but... Order, order, order! Prosecutor Asogi, what on earth do you mean by that statement? I hear that many of the leading members of Britain's judiciary are present to observe this trial today, so we cannot allow even the slightest doubt to be overlooked. Hmm? Defense's assertion about the time of death based on the victim's stopwatch is just conjecture. But, when the possibility exists that my learned friend may be correct, we have a duty to explore it. Well, certainly. I would agree with you. And what immediately comes to mind is, of course, what was Inspector Gregson doing, and where did he go on the day before the incident? Do you know? The Inspector always carried out his investigative work alone. His movements were treated as confidential within Scotland Yard. Even within the Yard? However, considering the evidence we've been presented with so far, I'd say it was fairly apparent what case the man was pursuing. Wouldn't you, my learned friend? I do have a feeling about what case he might have been investigating. The board has a whole bunch of stuff. Yes, I agree. Surely. My lord, the defense believes it can explain to the court the case that is being investigated by Inspector Gregson at the time of death. Very well, counsel. Send your argument to the court. What evidence is suggested for the case being investigated by the inspector on the day prior to the incident? Was Gregson involved in the Red-Headed League, or was that just the killer dropping off as their disguise? I'm venturing a guess.
Take that!
I can't say that I find your answer suggestive of anything particular. But then perhaps that it is utterly wrong. That much you have clarified much expertly. Well, fuck you! With the music stopping. What? Congratulations, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. You deserve a reward for that expert display. Yeah! Did you just draw a karma on me, my friend? I think, Mr. Naruhodo, that there's one particular piece of evidence. It does stand out in showing what case Inspector Gregson was investigating. Alright. I have the answer now. Well, I don't, but... Well, the obvious answer here is actually the Red-Headed League.
Take that!
I believe this red hairpiece points to the answer. I might assume it was part of a disguise used to carry out undercover investigation. Surely not. Such a brightly colored hairpiece would only serve to make the inspector more noticeable. Yes, that's quite true. It would definitely have made him stand out in a crowd. Except, that is, in a crowd of gentlemen from the Red-Headed League. The Red-Headed League? So, you'd already worked it out. What on earth is this all about? Is there such an extraordinary league of gentlemen? The Red-Headed League is currently under investigation for a grand deception. Deception of what nature, counsel? They've been targeting red-headed men across all of London and tricking them out of small sums of money. 2 men were arrested for the misdemeanor only yesterday, in fact. My lord, the defense calls for those 2 men to be summoned at once. 2 redheads? Interesting turn. Inspector Gregson clearly infiltrated the Red-Headed League using this hairpiece. So it is very likely he had direct contact with these criminals. It's quite possible that such contact led to more serious events. I concur that we cannot in good conscience leave this new avenue unexplored. Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, it's another possible line of inquiry, for us at least. Prosecution will make immediate arrangements for the charged men to appear. Bring these two Red-Headed League conspirators before me, Prosecutor Asogi. At once, my lord. Very good. We will have a 30-minute recess. Court is adjourned. You know it's serious when the dramatic music continues. Oh, no, okay, we're just getting a save point. Very good. Oh, there you are, Otto. What kept you, my dear fellow? Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Gina. You sure about what you said in there? That the boss, actually died the day before? It's pretty hard to swallow. Yes, I was shocked by the revelation too, Gina. As was I. Possibly more shocked than both of you. It's not a competition, Mr. Sholmes. I was more shocked than all of you put together. This is the autopsy report in question, is it? Yes. It's strange that there's no time of death noted. I suppose there's a simple explanation. Or perhaps... was it a deliberate omission? Oh dear. If it was deliberate, it puts me in mind of the last case we worked on. And Dr. Sith. I know. Anyways, it seems that on the day before Lord Van Zieks discovered his body, Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League, so perhaps something happened with them. Come to think of it. You had trouble with those League men too, didn't you, Mr. Sholmes? You were taken in by their trick. And no. Naturally, I wasn't taken in, as you put it. My sleuth-hound interest was merely piqued slightly by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income. And that scent masked the underlying scent of deception, I suppose. The two criminals in question are the pair we saw being arrested yesterday, aren't they? In Mr. Sholmes' suite, I mean. Oh, I forgot about them. That's right, Suze. It was me what took 'em in. Thanks to a tip-off by a good, law-abiding citizen. Indeed, yours truly. So it's going to be that pair in the witness stand next, is it? Oh boy. Something doesn't quite make sense to me, though. The day before Inspector Gregson was found, you hadn't had trouble with the Red-Headed League yet, had you? Why would the inspector been investigating them? Well, the likely explanation would be that Gregson's own sleuth-hound interest was piqued by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income. Don't darn with the same brush as you, Sholmes. Yes, well, then there's the whole issue of Inspector Gregson being investigated by Lord Van Zieks for some reason. The Reaper, Red-Headed League, Inspector Gregson, Lord Van Zieks, and Cosima. I feel as though he knew we'd arrive at this point somehow. Gosh, I think you're right. What's he really trying to achieve here today? All the answers will soon be revealed. Observe the time, my dear fellow. This recess will be over very shortly. Yes, you're right. Cosimo was determined that he should be the one to prosecute this trial, and he was determined that I should take the defense. Just what is it that he's hoping to make me see, I wonder? I get the feeling we're a long way from the end of this trial yet. Are you ready then, Miss Susato? Yes! If this is the pair, that's going to be a nightmare to voice. Alright. Huh? In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the closed court hearing of Berg Van Six. Here present who stands accused of murder. Now then, Prosecutor Asogi, my lord, have you summoned the witnesses as requested? Yes. Two members of the Red-Headed League. The plan carried out the deception. They arrived not too long ago from the local prison by police carriage. Very good. Bailiff, usher the two men into the courtroom. Yep. Right of the spaghetti. These two men are currently being held by the police on suspicion of attempted extortion. You may mention your occupations, but state your names now for the court. I am Fabien de Rousseau, a descendant of the great de Rousseau family from Nice in France. And my name is Peppino de Rossi. I did the spaghetti. I'm the third son of the great Familia de Rossi, the landowners from Napoli. How did I get spaghetti in here? I don't know. The two men first became acquainted at a boarding school for European nobility. Those who graduate from Temzik are the future leaders of Europe. But do you have any idea how boring it is to be born with this noble blood? Alors, make it my mission to get the better of the world by employing the little grey cells of my brain. That is all I am trying to do. So, that's the only reason for this whole grand deception you've been carrying out? Oui, you could say that. Not bad, eh? He has the grand ideas, but had the petty plans. This strange combination isn't the charm of the hilarious brothers. Si, capo. Listen to me, Peppino. I have two things to say to you. Eh, che? You to tell me one of your grand anecdotes? Vive! Firstly, I want you to stop calling me this capo. And secondly, we are not the hilarious brothers. This is serious business. And Cepello, there it is, the capo's trump card, the furrowed brow. It is deep, capo, the furrow and the meaning of your words. Our court's been led to believe that under the banner of the Red-Headed League, you have conspired to swindle money from unsuspecting members of the public. Is this true? Oui, c'est the car. This car. What exactly was the nature of this deception by which you planned to defraud? Alors, I will explain it. No, Capo. Leave it to me. Oh my god. Can't you see we both have the vivid red hair, no? Okay, you're kind of adorable. Not gonna lie. At school, we were teased for this without pity. The Capo here, he was many times behind the schoolhouse crying like the Trevi fountain. Oh, those dogs. One day the world would respect us redheads. Every night he would bury his head in his pillow and weep for the injustice. C'est bien, Peppino. Enough. I will explain the rest. The first step was the newspaper advertisement. But 1 week before the plan was put into operation, we listed the same notice in every paper in London. Yes, we saw that notice. It was this one, I believe. Entitled To the Red-Headed League. Oui, c'est car. I am honored that you have seen it. It states that the only condition for joining the league is having flame-colored hair. That if you satisfy the interview panel and are admitted to the league, you could receive a weekly income of £4. On the date specified, red-headed hopefuls gathered in droves at a park specified in the advertisement. From each person present, this pair took an application fee of 5 shillings. Ah. And with the money to France. It was a plan most elegant, no? No, it was most dishonorable. But to be frank, I'm stunned anybody was foolish enough to be taken in by such an obvious trick. The park was described by one witness as choked with red-headed folk, like a coster's orange barrow. The day on which all these men gathered to apply was the day before the victim was discovered. Crucially, these two men spoke face to face with every single person present that day. Oui, I have seen more red-headed people in one day than I will see in the rest of my life. See, and now every time I see the couple's hair, I feel sick to my stomach. Anyway, why have we been summoned here today? Sorry? The date for our trial was not until tomorrow, I was told. Naturally, neither of these men have been told any details about this trial. They've only been shown this photograph. Very good. Ooh, testimony about Gregson meeting with you. So Mr. De Rosso and Mr. De Rossi will now give your formal testimony for the court. The subject of the gentleman pictured in this photograph. Of course, we are always ready to help with the law. Genuinely no clue how this is gonna go. We had more than 1,000 red-headed people assembled in the park on Lime Street that day. But I don't recall the man in this photograph. Aye, Capo. No, I don't remember him. Obviously he's dead now, but I assure you he was not in the park. Allora, this victim has had nothing to do with us. You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault that we got caught in the first place. There. Alright, where is this gonna go? You have given sworn testimony that the man in this photograph was not present. Can you be certain? Oui. I am quite certain. We did not interview this man. Nobody looking like this came into the park. This I can promise. We know that you have been arrested for a grand deception, however. Accordingly, this court has little confidence in your assurances. Uffa! With this attitude, we get to nowhere, huh? He's really a sulkin now. This confidential document was obtained directly from Scotland Yard. Records an entry from the inspector's private diary dated the day before the incident. It reads, Lime Street, Red-Headed League, undercover. Ah, I have the answer. Because there was another similar event in the park on the day in question, eh? That is ridiculous. No question that Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League. Which means it's quite possible that's when he was killed. Very well. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination now. Yes, my lord. Where is this gonna go?
Hold it!
1,000 people? That's a very big crowd. It was quite a spectacle. It had come from all over the capital. See, the capo here. Here's the magnetismo at animale, eh? Nobody else could attract so many people. If I could be born again, I would be the capo. All those people wanted was the money, Peppino. The £4 per week. You're suggesting that you spoke personally with all 1,000 applicants? Oui, that we did. Because every one of them paid us 5 shillings. We take their names and we take their money. And we take their addresses as well. Then I tell them we take some days to let them know by a post. E finito. Maybe 2 minuti per person. We start early in the morning and we stop late in the night. So, you earned 5,000 shillings in one day? That's a small fortune. I would have thought there were 1,000 such gullible redheads in London to start with. One of whom was a great detective with chemically altered hair. I don't recall the man in this photograph, eh, Capo? Doesn't look at all familiar? No, I don't think so. And this is a wig, eh? He was trying to trick us. Run like the people who are trying to trick the other people. Says the con artist. Between them, they interviewed 1,000 people with red hair. It would be unreasonable to expect them to remember every face. No, signore. Maybe small. But my memory is very large. Never forget a thing. In my opinion, I do not think this man was in the park. But he's not going to give the court a definite, it seems. Eh, Capo? You didn't see a man like this, eh? I do like that glasses twirl.
Hold it!
But according to what you've said, you spoke with 1,000 or more people that day. Oui, that's true. My eyes were burning by the end of the day. Well, surely then you can't actually remember every single face. How are you so certain that this particular man wasn't present? And normally the red hair is very distinctive, eh? Not when you have 1,000 redheads crowding around. Then it is just an eyesore. But if there was some other information you could have given us, maybe then we could recall. That is not the line, Peppino. Remember, we do not remember him. We are sure of that fact, eh? If there was a man with the red hairpiece, but his mustache don't match the color, then I do not think I could have forgotten him. Cosmo said these two had only been shown that photograph and they'd been told nothing else at all. What if I fed them just one other detail about the victim? For example... fish and chips. I'd certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation. If I told you that the man was always munching on a packet of fish and chips. Remember a man who was eating incessantly? Not really. I was looking only at the heads of the applicants. I wouldn't have noticed the fish and chips any more than the caviar and smoked salmon. Or the spaghetti. Me, I love the spaghetti. Really? I had no idea. Listen again what you said before, Peppino. Si, Capo, si. I say it again and again.
Hold it!
We'll come back to that. I think if we give him his name, would we only have your word for that? Because, Peppino said, they take the names, they take the addresses, they take the 5 shillings. See, but what else can we do, eh? True. Oof. We're not having much of fun these days. First we are arrested, then we are shown the horrible picture of a dead man. And now you question every single thing we say. We are the victims here. Aye, Capo? No, you were caught carrying out a plot to swindle hundreds of innocent people. You want to bring that up, eh? It's not fair. Aye, Capo? I want to hear this story. What do you mean by that? Ah, Cavollo, you promised not to say. Aye, Capo? After we had taken all the monies that day, we should have left the country. That was my plan. I left the purchasing of the tickets for the ferry to Dunkirk, my companion here. But he bought them for the wrong day. Oops. See, but it's an easy mistake to make, huh? The 1st is the 31st. Oh, I have no sympathy for you. We were an all day late for the boat because of your stupidity. It's only because of this that this so-called great red-headed detective caught us. Couple, you know what I think. This is the work of God. It is a holy punishment, eh? But Peppino, for the last time. This is not only punishment. This is only your fault. Ah. Don't blame God for your unholy mistakes. You're making me sick with anger. Maybe I make a mistake. When it's time to eat the pasta, no one is a faster. And I see the evidence. They even told us much we didn't already know. So we're gonna feed him info about Gregson. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? If it was in the inspector's diary, it seems likely that he must have gone to Lime Street that day. Yet these two both claim they didn't see him. I have to say, you don't appear to be telling lies. Well, they are experts in deception, don't forget. Sounding plausible is their specialty. Maybe lying simply to avoid being implicated in this case as well. But surely if they were truly experts in deception, they wouldn't have been caught. Well, yeah, you do have a point there. It seems to me like we need more information. Definitely. certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember this situation. I told you. But the man's name was Gregson. The man in the photograph is a Monsieur Gregson. Yes. Names, they are boring. I did not listen to any of them. Oh. It was not a really interview, eh? It was just for a show. Oh, I remember the names. That's right. This changes nothing. The man in the photograph was not there, as you've already said. I see. There's a little bit to be gained from pursuing this point further. Hey, Capo, see, I say it again and again.
Hold it!
Tell me it's a detective, they're gonna remember Holmes. I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man in red hair would help you remember in this situation. I told you that the man in the red hair piece was actually a detective. The man is a photograph. A detective. Yes. It would appear he found your notice in the paper suspicious and decided to investigate incognito. Sorry, but this changes nothing. Ooh.
Excuse me!
You're gonna remember Holmes. Something to add, Mr. De Rossi? Jay? See, I'm always adding something. Parmesan, olive oil, pepper. What I mean is, do you not agree with your friend's last remark by any chance? Eh? What did he just to say about the detective? Yes, that's... Keep your mouth shut, Peppino. You have said enough already. But why, Capo? What is the problem? There was a man who said, I'm an inspector from Scotland Yard. What? Good lord. Oh, he's on the box. Order, order, order. Rain this vote farce in your testimony, witness. It's simple. The man who was at the park said to us that there was no such man. My day. What are you saying, Capo? Have you forgotten, eh? I have forgotten nothing. Nobody like this came to the park. Basta, Capo, basta! Meet me at many things, but not two. The memory and the meals. Like I said, but it's time to eat at the pasta. No one is a faster. But you are inferior to me in every other way. So shut up!
Objection!
Double fist slam. Dropped hard. As the damage is done. Indeed it is, sir. There was a man who came to the park and he said he was an inspector from Scotland Yard. However, he looked nothing like the man in the photograph. He was someone else. How could you be so sure? Because, to start with, his face was completely different. See, it's true, it's true. The man who came was younger. His face was clean-shaven. His eyes were sadder. His chin was thinner. No resemblance whatsoever, then. Anyway, I was not going to be fooled. I took the obvious precaution and said to him, if you are really a detective, show us the proof. See, there's a couple here. Doesn't take no nonsense, eh? But he was well prepared. He said he had identification. Identification? You mean official police inspector's identification? That is most unconvincing. Sorry, my lord? Counsel, no incognito inspector would offer his identification for inspection. It's quite out of the question. Definitely. Why would he expose his true identity? Clearly the papers were fake. Certo, Capo, you were a genius. As we say in Italia, it takes a thief to recognize another, eh? And what happened after he announced that he was a detective? It became very annoying. He said, we're under investigation. So I took his papers from him and chased him out of the park. It was fantastical. And look, here it is the identification. So you stole it from the man. He had to come and he made us very scared. But he was not who said he was. Indeed, the person described does not appear to have behaved as a true inspector would. However, I believe it would be prudent for these identification papers to be entered into evidence. But I like them. Alright. Let's rub my face against this. Warrant card. Alright. Well, I suppose we should see what this inspector's identification looks like inside. Yes, it definitely looks fake, doesn't it? Of interest, what name is given? Or just something plucked out of the air? It's Tobias Gregson. Wait, what? This Scotland Yard insignia looks genuine to me. But how? The department identification number details are all correct as well. Since when have you known those? Do you mean to say? It seems incredible, but yes. I think this is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. But that's unbelievable. Is this the real thing after all? Huh. What the hell do we make of this? Just present that there. Okay, this feels like the point to present at. Oh, it's the bottom of the list. Alright. Back up to the top we go. So we're gonna roll with this and see what happens when we present this.
Objection!
I wonder if I could ask you to examine this identification book very closely. Miss Lestrade? Why Miss Lestrade? What is your intention here, counsel? Is this really a fake or is it genuine? That's the question. Which we can't answer ourselves.
Objection!
Don't be ridiculous. No Scotland Yard detective would allow his or her identification to be stolen. Gina? Hi, Gina. That is the boss's. No question about it. It can't be. As I suspected. The undercover detective who attended the Red-Headed League's enrollment on the day in question was the real Inspector Gregson, carrying out an incognito investigation. The laws. Order! What? If the boss had his identification stolen, he would have reported it straight away. I mean, he was always on me about it. If you lose something, report it at once, he'd say. Could it be then that the inspector was physically unable to report it? Physically, what are you saying? Unable to? You're not suggesting. Yes, it's quite possible that he was killed before he had the chance to report his identification stolen. No. Does this track, though? It's like, they're still under the impression that the person who handed over the Gregson... Wait, okay. He's not directly accusing these two of the murder. But we are very much under the impression that someone stole his credentials. So, is the conclusion like we're kind of leaning towards that fake Gregson killed real Gregson? Order. The defense posits that the victim was killed the day before his body was discovered at a different location. Do you two have anything to say about that? Okay, maybe we are accusing you. I know nothing. I done nothing. Pull yourself together, Peppino. Mon Dieu, you could behave a little more like a master criminal than that, no? Now I wish I had returned to Italia. Stop crying, Peppino, please. Otherwise, Look me. Stop your whining and start talking. I believe the court will need to hear your story. It's considerably greater to tell. I know nothing. I done nothing. But you will tell everything, or face the worst possible outcome. You will dry your eyes and testify again. But these identification papers and the precise circumstances under which you came by them. Crying out loud! Oh my god. Crying testimony. Detective with identification. The truth is, we took him prisoner and kept him for the night at our secret hideout. Even so, I didn't think he was a real detective. I was too scared to let him go that day, just in case. We took the man's identification from him and shut him in the room next to ours. There might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm. And the next morning, we let him go. He spent the night in a nice room. It was nothing like prison, really. This is outrageous. You imprisoned the man. But no, no. It was not like a prison. He was very comfortable and calm and happy. Aye, Capo. It was never part of my plan. I swear it. Oof. So you think it was my fault, eh? Just because I got the date of the ferry wrong? I won a little day. I do not think it was your fault, Peppino. I know it. No. Per favor, Capo. It's not fair. You shall have plenty of time for squabbling back at the prison, gentlemen. Ugh, I don't believe this. How could we have been a real detective? Counsel for the defense proceed with the cross-examination. So on the day before the incident, Gregson spent the night confined at this pair's hideout?
Hold it!
There's something odd about him not recognizing the detective's face. And we have, like, no evidence that Gregson was disguised that thoroughly. Do you realize what you're saying? Like, you have to believe me. I never intended for that to happen. I'm sure the detective did not intend it either. Do you think? But there was nothing else I could do. See, nothing else. This was the first crime with the capo. He was at the end of his wits. I have told you before, Peppino, this is not the way to describe a criminal mastermind. What about this hideout of yours? An old empty house behind the park on Lime Street. We rented the place for 2 days. It was an inspired idea by the capo here. An impulsive idea, I would say. No. Not impulsive, inspired, capo? What am I supposed to say to that, Peppino? It was in the house described that you can find Inspector Gregson, was it? Oui. But you have to remember, I was under the impression that he was a pretender, not a real inspector. It wasn't quite add up, though. If you didn't think the man was a real inspector, there would have been no reason to take him prisoner, would there? No, you're right. We couldn't be completely certain.
Hold it!
Too scared. Why? Because why had he come to the park? We didn't know. There was a chance that he had seen through my plan. If that was the case, he would go straight to the police station to blow the whistle on us. Even if he was just a feigning to be an inspector who's up to no good, without a doubt. I think most people would agree that it's you two who are up to no good. Well, see, you may be right, aye, Capo? The point is, we were not able to escape from England immediately. That is why we had no choice but to take the man prisoner. What I don't understand is why the inspector felt the need to show you his identification in the first place. See, I asked myself the same question. We were writing down the names and addresses of all the people that we took 5 shillings from that day. I have forgotten what name he said, but the address, it startled me. See, address, the Scotland Yard Homicide Division, he said. What? He probably didn't like your face, Peppino. Anyway, I was not rude. I just politely asked him why he had said it. And that's when he started to say he was an inspector. Not long afterwards, he took out his identification. What was Inspector Gregson playing at? Tell the court what happened next. You took him back to your hideout, you say. See, we did.
Hold it!
That being this identification book here, correct? See, that is the one. What made you believe that it was a forgery? Never seen a real one, of course. But he was so suspicious, this man. Lord, I was a-thinking. It must be falso. Aye, Capo? Weird, it's just as Peppino has said. You were convinced it was not genuine. And so together, the hilarious brothers, we took the man captive. All we did was shove him inside a locked room. Then we made preparations to transport all of the money. In for a penny, in for a pound? Yeah. Little tussle, eh?
Hold it!
What do you mean by a little tussle, exactly? Wolf, it was nothing. Just a minor incident. The false inspector was a real piece of the work. Aye, Capo? What happened? Oof, it was a disaster. We give him a nice room, and what does he do, eh? In the middle of the night, he tries to escape through the ventilator door. Can you blame him? We chased him, and we caught him again. And you are blameless? Wait, you didn't shoot the man in your haste, did you? What do you think we are? Of course not. He simply caught hold of him again and took him back to the room. Oh?
Excuse me.
Thank you, Peppino, for being so forthwith. Mr. DeLosi, is something wrong? Aye? Me? Oh, panicking. Something Mr. De Rousseau just said seemed to make you, well, it seemed to make you act even more strangely than usual. What was that about? What's all this, then? Devolo, at times like this, you don't want to have the capo after you, believe me. I speak from personal experience. Personal experience? Such is enough, Peppino. There's no need to say more. The truth is, the night before we put the Red-Headed League plan into action, I was scared. It was not fair to the capo, but I tried to run away. It's a shame you didn't manage it. But the capo here, he came after me like the turbine, and he dragged me back to the house, kicking and screaming. I still have the bruises to prove it. Aye, capo. Bruises, you say? Oh, Jesus. You want to see, eh? You want to see my fantastical bruises? That's enough now, Peppino. No one wants to look at any part of you. What's mean? What's to do, eh? I assure you, but why you don't. I assure you why you don't. You do. Now. Oh, Lord, if everyone wants to see, then I do it. Damn. Echo, you see? It's still very visible, eh? That red ring around your neck. You got that when you were dragged back to the house? I see. The capo sometimes he is a very rough. Please, I said that's enough. Peppino's neck has nothing to do with what we are talking about here. You have my word. Yes, what is your opinion, Counsel? About this red ring around Mr. Rossi's neck. I wonder, does it matter? It's important. Mr. Rossi, I'm going to have to ask you to amend your testimony with details about that mark on your neck. Aye, Cap. You see? Everyone is interested in what I say, yeah? He is suffering. Good. Very well. You amend your testimony as requested, Mr. Rossi. See, if you really wanted to know. Put the collare on him and dragged him back. Like what he did to the collare. And collar? Are you saying that red mark was caused by... See. A big collare made it from the leather. A leather collar. Is this true, Mr. de Rousseau? What? We had a Saint Bernard at home when I was younger. It is a souvenir from that time with a very strong chain. A strong chain. And you put that around your friend's neck. I'm sorry. I was so angry that he was leaving me alone. You don't have to tie the chain to the leg of the bed, though, huh? I would not have tried to run again. You didn't do that to Inspector Gregson as well, did you? Treat the people equally. It's the capital here's motto, eh? My God, it's starting to sound a lot more like a prison all of a sudden. The capital is a tough, but the capital is a rough. The capital is a suffering. I shouldn't have done it. So, the following morning, when you released the inspector, he had the red ring round his neck, just like a me. Aha, that confirms it. Pepino, s'il vous plaît, leave it now. Now you know, huh? It's a couple here. You don't want to tangle with him, eh? But for the inspector, he's not so bad.
Hold it!
Doubt. Took away the man's freedom. However comfortable you make it sound, you were still holding him prisoner. If you say that, then I say this. There is something that takes away our freedom, too. The lack of money. So we're the prisoners as well, huh? All of us down with capitalism. Huh? No money, no freedom. That is the truth. It makes me sad. Sad, and it makes me mad. What can we do? Well, if you're so disenfranchised, take money to court. It will cost you, of course, that's cold. Oh, so there you have it. See, that is why we need the Red-Headed League, to fight for the justice, and, perhaps he has a point. No, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, we did she just looks over at him, seeing him, considering it seriously, and, all we did was give the man a comfortable place to sleep for the night. You say it was a prison, huh? Perhaps he's a point again. No, again, Mr. Naruhodo. You should have heard of us snoring. That day, anyone was disturbed, it was us. Oh boy. Not much to go on, really. The testimony does make me wonder, though. What this pocket watch belonged to the inspector, I mean. Yeah, the one he treasured so much, apparently. He was confined but not restrained, as the witnesses are implying. He would still have been able to wind his watch. That's very true, yeah. Did Inspector Gregson actually die while he was being held captive by these redheads? In which case, is it possible that these two young men are responsible for Inspector Gregson's? To be honest, I find that hard to believe. Perhaps you should try to find out exactly what happened. Very wise, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes. Alright. We will present the thing we need to present before we leave. Which is going to be this.
Objection!
Yeah. The day before his body was discovered, Inspector Gregson was taken prisoner while working incognito. Actually, I think we're coming around to the idea that Well, we're not sure yet. Did someone steal Gregson's credentials, or did Gregson... Like, Gregson very clearly was doing something incognito then. Like, he sent someone else undercover as him? And they got kidnapped? Very curiously. Alright. Until next time. Until then.